So, is racism within the Labour Party preventing the election of a black Prime Minister? The chairman of the Equality and Human Rights Commission, Trevor Phillips, certainly thinks so. Well, let's talk to youth activist Nathan John and community leader Joseph Okieno. They're both here now. Very good afternoon to you first. What do you think? Is Trevor Phillips right? Is the general point right?
I think there is some truth in what Trevor Phillips has said. I think there's institutional racism, not only in politics, but in a range of industries, from the media to business. But I see the major problem being aspirations. And when I look at Barack Obama, he's just an example that when you combine vision with passion and hard work, that any barrier can be smashed. And I think that's what he's done. And that's what I'm taking from this.
Following on from what was said, I mean, that's more an issue to do with the personality rather than the colour of their skin.
In a way, yes, but there's no doubt that Obama is a black guy, and race was an issue. And Obama won simply because he happened to have been not only a black candidate, but a candidate who was extremely good. In fact, he was so good that he beat the institutional systems in the Democratic Party, and he beat the system across America.
Right, and that's the system that Trevor Phillips doesn't think could be beaten in this country. Do you agree?
It is actually possible for it to be beaten. Trevor and I are colleagues in the Labour Party, and I don't necessarily agree because Trevor benefited over the last several years in the Labour Party. Trevor was the former chair of the Greater London Assembly. I think what Trevor and I need to be telling our people is that, yes, it is possible. We need to continue to encourage our people to not only to join these systems, but to challenge and engage.
Isn't that the problem, Nathan? By saying this, Trevor Phillips has also almost said to the young people that you work with, oh, well, don't bother.
Yeah, don't bother. And I tell them time and time again, continue to bother. All things are possible. Almost over 40 years ago, if you said to someone in America there will be a black president in 2008, they would have laughed in your face. So let's laugh in Trevor Phillips' face now, politely. And let's prove him wrong, because I believe that a change has come and a change will continue to come, not just in England, but in a range of countries, and not just in politics, but also in business, also in senior positions in many organisations.
Joseph, I mean, the Labour Party and the Conservatives, and I'm sure the Lib Dems as well, following these comments, have said, we are doing everything. Do you think that the parties themselves are doing enough, because Trevor Phillips doesn't seem to think they are?
I don't want to know about other parties, but I have some idea about the Labour Party. And Trevor, of course, goes on to credit the Conservative Party, and as I said, for the details for which I can't comment. But as far as the Labour Party is concerned, what I know about my engagement with the Labour Party in the last 10 years is that it has actually been substantially engaging. I am one of those few people who, over the last several years, have had to go out and specifically encourage ethnic minority communities, not only to join the parties that they vote for, but also to present themselves as candidates to become councillors, to become school governors, to go on to engage in the tenants and residents associations, to stand up and be counted on issues that affect their communities, on issues that affect the British politics, to make themselves relevant as part of the community, as part of this nation state.
Is it at a point where there's positive discrimination that black candidates are put forward for, I mean, I know you're talking from within the Labour Party, but I'm sure all the parties, black candidates are put forward in preference over white candidates?
I think there is a clear case that we should create a situation in which black candidates who start from a position of disadvantage should necessarily be encouraged. Institutional systems to be broken to create a situation in which it is easier for them to jump through that. Because yes, we start as black people. We start with the difficulties of probably lone parents that sometimes some other people in the political establishment would want to talk about. Obama came out as a son of a single mother to become extremely successful. So maybe these are the kind of, if you like, the stigmas that we need to break. Our teachers need to begin to take note, and I'm sure they've taken note in the last few days, that a black child who's 5, 6, 7, who does very well and becomes a problem at 12 or 13, can actually achieve. That our children can also go to Oxford and Cambridge, and after Oxford and Cambridge, they can also go to the city. And if they don't go to the city and they join the political class, that yes, it is actually possible for them to achieve the highest.
Isn't part of the problem, Nathan, is actually engaging people in politics? I mean, Trevor Phillips talks about them being institutionally racist, the political parties, but people that you work with, the youths of today, the black youths of today in Britain, they don't see politics as being something that they're akin to, that they're interested in, that they can be involved in. Is that what you find?
No, there's truth in that, and Barack Obama has really ignited a lot of passion into politics, not just in America but also over here. I think the problem that we have is that the black MPs don't necessarily stand up as black MPs and represent their communities in the way that I believe they should. So young people don't look at them and relate to them, but they see them as someone that's kind of left their community and is now disconnected. And I think what needs to happen is that those MPs need to engage with the youths and show them that they're coming from similar backgrounds, and bring them into the House of Commons where possible. Let them see that it's achievable. But at the moment, it seems to be that a divide. And I think until that divide is broken, we will see this problem continuing where young people seem to be not interested.
Well, if nothing else, Trevor Phillips has ignited the debate. Nathan, John, Joseph Okieno, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.